Hey guys, Tails here, back with another video. Now I'm going to give myself the gift of a slightly more chill video today. Now the reason for that is I have just, 2 days ago now, came off a marathon of recording horror maps. You guys might have noticed. Would I recommend going on a rampage and recording, I think it was like 10, 11 horror maps in the space of 5 to 6 days? No? Would I say I had fun? Yes. That's why we did it. We kept going. We've actually made a video talking about our direct response once we were done. So like the day after, and we figured, oh hey, we've run out of horror maps for now. We just kind of sat down and like rated them all. So you're gonna get my initial response. But wow, I did not realize like how tired I was getting. Like it's not that, well, kind of a lack of sleep because we were going to like 4 a.m. To sometimes 3 maps a night, like in the space of 5 days. It was insane, but we had so much fun, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying those videos because they were a lot of fun to make. We're definitely taking a bit of a breather right now, but you guys aren't going to notice because, as I said, I think I still have, at the time of recording this video, at least 10 more plus bonus stuff, like 2 more videos. It's like there's 13 videos of content just waiting to roll out, and obviously I'm not gonna shove all those out at the same time. And I also did try to actually make a video solo like what I'm doing now, talking about this pretty much right after, and I was just so tired and I didn't even notice. And then I was just like looking at the video the next day, I'm like, you know what, I can do better. Just take a couple of days. And I was like, I can remember just being at the end of the video like, I am Tailskip and I'm tired, goodbye, like fatigue. But it was a good kind of fatigue. I didn't even realize, like I said, we were having so much fun, but it wasn't just like doing the maps and then waking up the next day. For me, it was doing the maps, 2 or 3 maps, and then editing the videos and then rendering them all in the same day. So essentially, doing the maps, waking up, making 2 to 3 videos, and then rendering those out for a few hours. Sadly, it does take a few hours to render those out if it's like an hour long. Yep. We had fun. I had to stay on top of it because I knew that if I fell behind at any point, that would be it. I would get procrastination would take over. But I surprised myself with that one. I actually stayed on top of it. Lo and behold, if I ever do need to do an extreme recording session like that, I know now that I can. I also know my limits, and I think my limit was almost about hit. I probably could have done another 1 or 2 days, but I just, wow. But it was crazy. It was crazy, and I had fun doing it in the editing process and everything, and I was just laughing, rewatching the videos back, and enjoying the jump scare moments. Like, it was fun for me to edit and relive those moments. But dang, I did not realize until like we were on the very last day of editing. I'm like, okay, push it, you can do it, come on. And then we were getting online to do more horror maps, and then we kind of realized that maybe we should just wait a little bit because obviously Halloween's here and we'll probably get more. And we've been doing a lot. I think we were starting to maybe get a bit dull to things because we'd been going for so long. That's not like the jump scares are still coming, like we still get scared, but you know what the feeling is when you're just bombarded by the same thing over and over again. You just kind of like get a bit, it's hard to explain. Like, we still got scared and everything, but it's like when you're getting bombarded, and we were just getting tired, like physically, from like waking up and doing this and then going again, and getting tired and having all the energy for recording. It takes energy, okay? And we kind of hit that point, but it was still worth it. Like I said, all fun. I keep saying that, but it was. I'm not trying to complain. Let's see what else have we got going on in the world of Tailskip. First world problem of the week. I think I got some water in my ear or something. Probably gonna have fun with that for the next few months until that decides to clear. Basically just randomly lose hearing in this ear, so that's fun. I've been dealing with that for the last couple of days, just sitting there and listening to my music, and suddenly all I hear is sound from one side. I'm like, oh god, that's trippy. But minor problems. It's so disorientating. Like, I'm standing here talking and I just hear mostly from this side, and damn, maybe I'm just getting old. But hey, hopefully that clears. But obviously not related. I'm not a doctor or anything, but you know, it's just an extra thing that I was dealing with. Oh yeah, they updated the cameras. I talked about that in my other video, so I'll talk about it here. I like the updates. Glad that we finally got drone mode. Might be having some fun with that in the future. I still need to get used to them, like how they've moved all the buttons around. I'm constantly taking 5-second pictures because, you know, putting the timer on for 5 seconds, because, you know, it used to be like way in the back and now it's like right there where, you know, the anchor button used to be. You know, it's all about learning new button, and then I'm like panicking trying to find where the anchor button is, and just recording is going to be interesting for a while. But I do like the new VRChat camera and the new menu, same thing, like take a bit of getting used to, but you know, obviously it's better. It has its pros and its cons. Some things are better than others, but it's new. I don't even know if it's better than the old one. I haven't really, honestly, I haven't played much since the horror map a couple of days ago. Just taking a breather from VRChat for a little bit and then hop back into it. But you guys aren't going to notice anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, what else is going on? Oh, I can make community messages in YouTube now. That's cool. I'm not really sure how that works. I think I'm just supposed to let you guys know when I'm working on a video or something. So, yeah, I've never really utilized that before, so who knows, maybe I'll be looking into that within the next couple of days and trying to figure that out. Not much else has been going on. I don't think I really covered much else in that video. I think I was just mainly stringing words together. I was also trying to record at like 2 a.m. so it probably wasn't the wisest of ideas, but I needed my chill down video. Like I said, I was gonna have like the horror stuff obviously has to take center stage because I have so many backed up that I'm just going to be pushing this out until Christmas if I'm not careful. So, you know, the little horror map main stage for a little while, and we'll see how it goes. But I am keeping up with my main content. Probably starting next week, I'll get back onto some world exploration or whatever I'm feeling that day. Get into some deep, meaningful subjects. Maybe I can tell you about how much I'm struggling with my first world water and air problem. Hopefully that's all it is. Here's hoping. It does come back on occasion. I do get hearing back, and then I'll just notice, oh, it's gone. It's kind of like when you're in a plane and you're like, you've gone half deaf because of the air pressure and you don't notice, and then you just suddenly notice. It's trippy. Like, I don't know why I'm going on about this, like people care, but you know, I gotta share my problems with you people. This is how these blog videos apparently work right now. Just me sharing my deep emotional problems. Yeah, I really gotta like sit down and make a list one day of things to talk about. Really get these blog videos rolling out to something other than me talking about nothing or my big emotional problems or complaining because I had fun recording and I'm a little tired about it. you know, it is what it is. But hey, you guys still seem to like it regardless, as long as I'm just here talking to you. That's the thing too, is like talking to you guys directly, which is something I can't technically do that now, but it's more of a one-to-one video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not being jump scared by something. That's kind of nice too. I'm standing in a world and nothing's trying to like jump scare me or kill me. So that's nice. I'm trying to leave my opinions out of it because we were talking about it, like I said, in a video after. But honestly, I will say this: if you are new to VR or you're a bit questionable about horror, do not do the Obsession, do not do the Asylum, do not do I can't even remember. We've done so many. Any of the really intense ones you see, like Ishmael, the Eyes map, and there was a last one we did at the end. I think it was called Lost or something like that. Those have been, oh, and the 10th floor maps. Do not start with those. Start out with the more chill maps. I do have a couple of chill maps too. Like, we weren't doing all the intense ones. We were just kind of exploring what was out there. So it's not all intense scares, but if you're starting out in VR, I can see why they have those like health warnings at the start, because it is completely different looking at me and seeing me react in a 2D environment, and half the time you guys don't even see what I'm looking at. And I did that purposely because I don't want to necessarily completely spoil these maps for people who haven't played them. But you know, if you want a little precursor, or if you're like, you know, you just want a little, sometimes I do that. If I'm not sure about a horror map or something, I'll check out a video online and be like, okay, what is the intensity? Spoiler alert, after doing what we just did, I don't think I'm gonna have to do that anymore, because apparently, as long as I'm with people, I tend to be fine. But I was a little apprehensive at first, so I was Googling some of them a little bit ahead. Actually, it was just one of them this time. But in previous times, I have Googled ahead of time, and then just been like, okay, how scary is this? So, definitely if you're in VR, it's a completely different experience, and I want to talk about this now because, you know, it is like people come to my channel and they're like, I want to check that out, which is great, but please do it to your own health. Take your own health, your own mental health, your own safety in mind. Some of these maps do stick with you, like Ishmael, the big eyes ghost on my video that just went out. He, like, it wasn't like terrified or anything, but on that night in question, after doing that map, I just happened to be in the house alone, and, you know, dark hallway, you know, kind of stuck in my head. Got retro too. It was just like not like paralyzing fear, but, you know, just like chills, you know, it kind of sticks with you. You just think about it. It's like, oh god, even a little bit now, just like thinking of the face, and it's like, oh god, PTSD. So, you know, some of these maps can have a lasting effect, especially if you are prone to this stuff. So if you're going in thinking, I'm gonna get scared, it's funny, and it can be, okay, it can be funny, but don't push yourself too hard, especially if you're a content creator and you're just doing it. But think of yourself. Put your health first. Don't rush in there. Don't rush in there, you know, for the content and then break yourself, because some of these experiences can get pretty deep. If you're in VR and you're fully immersed, I can't say that I was ever, you know, like, oh my god, this thing's gonna kill me, because I have the disconnect. It's like, oh, I'm in VR, you know, it's like, yeah, it's real, but it's not real. This isn't Sword Art Online. It can't actually kill me, and you know, it's kind of a video game asset. But some people really do get like immersed into it. So having these things fly at you and jump out at you, there's also some scenes in some of the maps could be distressing to some people or triggering. So really, if you are reading those disclaimers at the beginning of the maps, there's always disclaimers. Read those first, take them to heart, and if you need to, obviously my videos are here, and you can see for yourself if anything might seem triggering. But obviously half the time you're not going to see it, because I don't get to turn the camera fast enough, because I'm reacting to it. I am being paralyzed by fear, and I can't just be like, okay, view of the thing, oh look, it's gone. So, you know, definitely some scenes can be upsetting to some. So if you are not a fan of horror maps, so basically what I'm trying to say is a VR horror map, I don't play regular horror maps, like outside of VR, which is weird, because I hate horror. Like, I hate horror genre. Like, I won't watch a movie, like all the gruesome stuff and stuff. I hate that. But, and then on a flat, you get those games, you know, where you're playing on your monitor on Steam, and they're spooky scary, and people get scared by that. And then I'd be like, oh, I don't want to play those because they're scary looking. And then, like, here I am in VR, actually physically 3D surrounded by all this creepy stuff and things like flying at my face, and I'm generally okay. So they kind of raised some questions. If I was to play an actual horror game, like, would it even be scary now? Because, like, after having, like, I'm sure the Eyes one monster, because that's based off a real game, would trigger me because of the sound. But after seeing it in my face in 3D, like seeing it on a monitor, I don't know. It would be weird. I have no intention of playing that, by the way. No. I did it once. I did it in VR. I am not volunteering to start playing horror maps. I am just speculating. Like, would it be scary to me after doing it in VR? Bottom line, if you do get scared easy, maybe do your first horror map in desktop, test the waters, and then hop into VR. But wow, playing it in VR is such an experience. You cannot describe the difference like playing on a monitor than being in VR until you've actually been in VR. Just being in this world right now, being able to look around at all the prettiness. Like, I'm standing in a room in real life, kind of boring, but like in the headset I'm surrounded by prettiness and my avatar, and it's you can't I need to make a video talking about VR and stuff and setup and whatever. That's one of the things I've been thinking about doing, pending. I've been a little distracted lately, but yeah, to the point. VR horror maps, definitely an experience. Definitely recommend if you like a good scare and adrenaline rush, spooky scary, take a friend. It's a lot more fun. Would not do those maps by myself, not a chance in hell. I had friends, we laughed, we had fun, we used humor as a coping mechanism. I think for the most of the time it's just like, there's something that's trying to kill us, let's just laugh at it. And then you're dead. You're dead. Oh yeah, oh god. When we underestimated, what was his name? When we underestimated Carl in the first map, like our first run, and we are just literally running around not realizing that he was a one-hit kill until the very end. Oh, that was crazy. It's just like, we were actually just messing around with him, like, oh, you distract him. At one point I'm running in circles. First run is on my channel, by the way, go check that out. And then we have the actual run where we actually finish it. We got so close to finishing it, like we were just going into the last part on the first part when we were messing around with Carl and we weren't taking him seriously and we all died. And then we had to do it again, and it took us like 4 or 5 attempts to get back to that one spot. I don't know how we got that far without dying in the first round after messing around with Carl for so long, but oh my god, like we were so close to finishing, and then to get back to that point, Carl just was having his revenge arc, and it took us like 5 different attempts to get back. It was like mistakes were made, but we did it guys. It's all important. We made it. It's not about it. And then after that we got humbled. Okay, we were humbled, we learned our lesson. We started taking the things a bit more seriously that were trying to kill us. Go figure. I think a couple of them that we played were one-shot deaths, other than that one, but I can't remember. So you do have to like take these things a little seriously, because if you die, you get punished and you have to restart the map, which kind of sucks, especially on a map that takes a while to do. We did kind of blaze through it eventually because we were just so like, grab the key, run. That was the key to the map, just grab the key, run, grab the key, run. Where's Carl? Okay, he's over there, grab the key and run. Hello, naked running man. Like, that was our formula. We had that down to a T by the end of it. It's also easy on that map if you have more people that can distract Carl. But anyway, yeah. Well, I don't remember where I was going. Something about taking monsters seriously that are trying to murder you. Just imagine you are, well, maybe don't imagine you're an SAO, because then it might be 10 times scarier. Okay, just forget that. Just take the monster seriously. As I said, I'm trying not to say too much because our initial reactions will be in a video later. Probably much later. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying these videos, because I literally have so many on backlog. You know, you guys are gonna be getting like 2, 3, 4 videos, 5 a week from me. I'm trying to space them out reasonably, like 1-2 days. A little vlog video, a little easier video, a little slice, a little break, if you will, and then back to the horror. If you guys missed my other videos, these horror maps are not permanent. If you guys don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't, we're in spooky month. And basically we never planned this. We just kind of got on one day and we're like, let's do a horror map. And then 5 days go by and here I am with like 20 videos of horror maps. So that's how that went down. But it is horror month, so it's okay. I'm allowed to bombard horror stuff. That's why we're here. Spooky, scary, 'tis the season. I really don't want people to think that that's going to be the majority of my content. It can't be, because there's only so many horror maps on VRChat. There's a lot of horror maps on VRChat, by the way. Like, I get it. Horror map. Everybody likes the horror maps. They're fun. They're popular. But I would like, you know, I know there's different kind of maps out there, but there seems to be so many horror. Like, let's get another genre going, VRChat. Long ass, we need a full-on RPG. we have some maps that are like mini RPGs now. We need an RPG where people can just like get on and spend a year of their life. All right, day 53. Yeah, no one's gonna make that for VR. That would be fun though. But yeah, even like a small RPG. But there are so many horror maps, guys. My friend Moon actually said we could do like a holiday series where we do like Christmas like maps. I'm like, there are no Christmas map adventures, Moon. They do not exist. Like, how do you make an adventure map on the holidays in general, not just Christmas? Well, I mean, there is that one haunted horror map from Huggy Dungeon, which I think is still up from the holidays. R.I.P. Huggy Dungeon series, by the way, will be missed. Low-key kind of glad we didn't have to do that. I was talking to my friend Retro about that, actually. Huggy Dungeons were a great map, a great experience. Like, we played through them at least 2-3 times before VRChat moved from 2.0 to 3.0 and they got taken down. But there was so much. Like, even just thinking about that, I still have some of the imagery on my mind. And it wasn't, because it was an early horror map, it wasn't necessarily like anything you saw in my other videos. It was kind of like you would just go from room to room filled with horror. There'll be like example hitting on every kind of phobia, like you'd be in a shark tank, snake coming at you, and needle, and you're trapped in a chair, someone's trying to jab you with a needle, you got monsters chasing you, you've got surgical stuff, and it was just so much thinking back on it that I'm kind of glad, because at the same time it's like the whole area you'd in would be full of this stuff. So it's like there would be, I wouldn't feel honestly super comfortable posting it on a channel because there's no way to like desensitize a lot of the stuff that's going on. Like, you can be looking at me, but the imagery's all around. I remember one time there was a teddy bear that would chase you, and let's not get started on the poor battle mechanics. Early VR chat got those battles in Huggy Dungeon, man. Like, you would run up to the monster and the hitbox would be weird and you would not be anywhere near it. You'd get hit and die. I think the monster would reset. So you'd just be spam killed over and over again until you eventually clipped or cheated or killed it. Like, I think the first two at least. The first two Huggy Dungeon maps we did clear the bosses promptly. But then the third Huggy Dungeon, there's like you did 2 hours on one map. And then the map creator thought, okay, we're going to break this up because it's really long. They're like, okay, here's 2 hours. And then the second map, they're like, oh, here's 4 hours. And then they're like, P.S., here's a boss rush of like all the past bosses and more with broken boss mechanics. And you have to defeat these things one after another. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. You guys better be ready to go after your giant horror map scare-a-thon. Let's go. Death, death, death. And we started out, no kidding, Huggy Dungeon 3. We actually made a mistake by doing all of them at once because we didn't know the map had just dropped. Had we known, we wouldn't have done that. But we did it on stream, so I have video proof. I don't know, maybe I can dig up clips one day, I don't really know. But it's out there, it's on there. It was a stream for charity, by the way, not one of my streams. I don't stream, we'll not get into that now. But anyway, Huggy Dungeon, where was I going? Yes, so we did all of it in one, not knowing. And Huggy Dungeon Part 3, Part 2, we started out with a party of like, I want to say 12 people. And we finished that map with 3. Like, we lost people to crashing. We lost people to just it being like really early in the morning and they wanted to go to bed. So to go from 12 to 3, I can only imagine the hell if you started out with 3 people and one of them crashes and then there's 2 and then the last person is just like, screw this, I'm all alone. Like, I can only imagine the hell. Like, though I don't even know how we did it. We only did Huggy Dungeon 3 once because wow. But we blazed through that and 3 of us made it. I was one of the 3, thank God. And our streamer was too, thank God. And there was like one more and there was just 3 of us in this room at the end and we're like, oh my God, we did it. Can we just I can probably dig out that clip actually of us finishing the map and just praying for the end. Like, the whole story was great and everything, but it was our own fault for trying to do it all at once. But you know, mistakes were made. Anyway, the story was nice and everything, and the experience was nice. But what I'm trying to say is like, I don't know if I, like, like, it gives me the feeling again just thinking about it. But once I was in there, it would probably be fine. But it was, like, one of the first horror maps I did, too, also in VR. And it was just, like I said, there's so much sensory overload in those maps. And was just so much. It was, like, so intense. Like, I think lengthwise, too, and just everything was going on. It was, like, 8 times more intense than anything we did. Ishmael was scary, but again, it wasn't a scary thing. Like, for us, for me at least, it wasn't scary. It was more like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it was unsettling. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Like, the whole map was unsettling. Like, you'd get creepy Barney the Dinosaur, creepy pasta Mickey Mouse, like I said, just gruesome imagery and stuff chasing you, and then there's this whole story going on. I vaguely remember it being about, like, I think abuse in the family and stuff. I believe that's what it was. And it was a lot. I mean, we would have done it. Don't get me wrong. We would have done it and probably had a good time. But just thinking about doing it, like, oof. It is definitely one of the more intense. And I don't even, like, I guess I would have ended up putting on my, I don't even know. Like, honestly, I don't even know how I would have posted that. Like, it takes me several hours currently to render out an hour-long video. Like, imagine 2 hours. 2 hours would be my limit. And then you guys would get bombarded with, like, 6 parts of us doing the last part of the Huggy Dungeon. And oh my god. But yeah, definitely a classic, though. 10 out of 10. I would do it again. Who am I kidding? I would do it again. But I would still be like, about doing it again. But you're not supposed... That's probably what the map creator wants. They want you to be in that mood when you join the map. It's spooky, scary, obviously. But yeah, it's missed. But low-key, kind of relieved that we didn't have to do it. I think it probably would have been one of those that we would have done later on after a break, at least. It was intense, that map. People who did it will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was crazy. First ever VR horror map. I did it in desktop first run, I think. So it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. It wasn't great. But I was thankful to do it in desktop for the first time. And then I was even more anxious to do it in VR. And then I'm like, oh god, it's my first VR horror map. Still getting used to VR. This is going to be terrifying. And I'm like, it's actually not that bad. As I stand here talking about how it makes me feel unsettled just talking about it. But it would anybody. But I would do it again. It was fun, especially with friends. But sadly, Huggy Dungeon series has moved to another platform now. And I can't remember what the platform is, but it's moved. There's still Part 4 coming out. I think it's done on VRChat. It would take too much to convert it. I don't think anybody's going to rebuild it. We're moving on. We are evolving. We're creating better maps at this point. And better maps, more advanced maps. I feel also like Huggy Dungeon could have really done well in the new Udon stuff, because a lot of it was button clicking, and I get that would be a pain to like reset up and animations and stuff. Like I get why the map creator doesn't want to port it, but just think like fixed bosses where you can actually beat them and it's not cheesy. Like you have to cheese the bosses and they're just flying at you all the time. Yeah, just fixed everything. Like it would have been so much smoother and probably a much better experience for the, just that side of it. But anyway, it's in the memories. We had a time we enjoyed, and alas, not everything lasts forever. We have plenty of other amazing horror maps. Definitely go check them out from my videos if you haven't already. And I know that some of you are waiting to do them yourselves before you check out my videos, which is fine. Just please remember to go back and watch the video once you're done. Hey. Alright, I'm going to end the video here, guys. I have rambled on enough about essentially nothing again. So thanks for watching. If you're still here, please check out my other content. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Good boy.